everyone, welcome back. If you've not seen my videos before, I'm Bex, I'm 35 and I'm a first time mum to Finley. We've recently come back off our first family holiday together in Spain, and before we went I looked on YouTube for some ideas of what I should pack for a baby to take away on holiday. So hopefully this video should also help you if that's what you're looking for too. I should point out that none of the items in this video have been sponsored in any way by anyone. They're just useful things that I've found help me in packing for a baby and what to take abroad. I've divided the video up into items that are under certain categories just to make it that bit easier if you're packing. So the first category is sun protection. You're going to need some sort of sun cream for you and your baby. I used the Banana Boat Factor 50 sun cream for my baby, Finley. I found that it was non-greasy, it covered well, and I didn't experience any sort of sunburn or sun breakouts with him. I have heard it has been controversial in that there have been some instances where people have had problems with it, but I myself personally haven't had any issues with it and I would recommend it. It's cheap. It does the job, and I found that it didn't have any adverse effects on Finley. So in terms of the sun lotion that I used for myself, I used the Hawaiian Tropic Spray-On sun lotion. I just found that I was a bit more pressed for time after getting Finley ready, and so I just found that a spray-on lotion was a lot easier for myself rather than having to sort of slather it on in the traditional sort of cream format. The other thing I would say is that you do tend to go through a bit more quickly than you would do if it was the cream sort of format. I use the Hawaiian Tropic one and they're both available from Boots. I think at the time the Hawaiian Tropic spray-on lotion I bought from Primark because it was on offer, so maybe check there as well because it might be on offer too. The second thing you'll need is some sort of sun hat for your baby. It sounds really obvious, but I didn't think of it at the time, but make sure that the sun hat actually fits your baby before you go on holiday. When we were going, Finley was going to be coming up to 3 months I think, and so when I picked the hats up I noticed they were not to 3 months, so I thought they'd fit him fine, but in actual fact he's got quite a small head, and so we had to find other hats that did fit him. So a bit obvious, but make sure it fits. You're going to need some sort of sunsuit for your baby too, just to make sure that the majority of the skin is protected from the sun. I got this one, which is the Super Baby outfit. This was from Asda. I think it was around £13, and who doesn't love a Super Baby sort of outfit? One thing I do particularly like about this is that the zip goes up at the back. I have seen other suits, and when I was looking for one I tried it on Finley. Some of them the zip goes up at the front, and I just found that when he tried them on, the zip came up really close to his chin and his neck area, and I just think it would have rubbed him. So if you are looking for a sunsuit, I would recommend getting one with a zip up the back. If you are into the whole sort of superhero type outfit for your baby, I think this one was sold out on Asda, but I also got a Spider-Man version, and that was from Next. If they are still available, I'll put the links below. The last item in the sort of sun protection category is some sort of sunshade for your baby. I would recommend getting a full sunshade that goes across the whole of the pram. It's just when we were going away they were all sold out. I have seen a really good one that's a universal sunshade that fits on any type of pram or car seat, and that's available at John Lewis, and I think it's available at Argos. It's just at the time everyone seemed to be wanting to buy them and they were sold out, so I ended up getting this parasol from Mothercare. I think it was about £15, and you have to get their separate universal adapter to put it on the pram. And I think that was about £2 for it. Obviously I needed some sort of sunshade for Finley, if I could have done it over again, I would have definitely got that universal sunshade. I found that the parasol itself just made it a bit more difficult to keep the sun off his face, just because you had to constantly manoeuvre the parasol about depending on where the sun was shining. And if it was directly up, I found that it was sometimes a bit difficult to see over the top of the pram just with the parasol in place. So yeah, I would recommend some sort of sunshade with a little sort of zip that you can then check on your baby with, rather than a parasol. But if you are stuck, then Mothercare do these parasols fairly cheaply. When I was looking at packing, I also checked on I think it's the Aviation Authority's website, and I was a bit unsure as to whether I could pack a parasol in the hand luggage, but you definitely can. So I would put that in your hand luggage, then it's ready for when you come out of the plane, or the airport I should say, at the other side, and when it's sunny you've got it straight away to pop onto the pram. Okay, so the next category is nappies and changing. You're going to need nappies obviously. We tend to go for the Pampers just because I find they're a better fit, but you will also need swimming nappies. When I was looking at packing, I worked on the basis that I would need about 8 to 10 nappies a day, and I thought that half of those could be swimming nappies. So we used the Huggies Little Swimmers. I found that I had a pack that my sister-in-law gave me, which funnily enough is this pack, and I tested them before we went just to make sure that they were good and no leaks or code browns happened, everything was fine. But what I would say is these must be an older pack, because the packs that I bought, they don't seem to fit quite as well. I have noticed on the older ones the tabs tend to go backwards on them, which is opposite to the way a nappy traditionally goes. And then on the newer ones, the tab actually goes forwards. And I just found that the older style tend to fit in better than the newer ones. So I would definitely do a test before you go on holiday, just to make sure that the nappy fits well. Another thing we did was we split the nappies between the cases, so that we had half of the normal nappies and then half of the swimming nappies in each case. That way if anything got lost, at least we knew straight away we would have the essential things that we needed, like formula and nappies, whichever case it was. You will also need wipes. I use water wipes. They are that little bit more expensive, but I like the fact that they are quite wet. And I just find that they wipe up any mess really easily. They are usually on offer. I find that they're on offer most of the time in Boots, and they can be on offer quite a lot in Morrison's as well. They're usually around £2 a pack when they're on offer. I worked out on the basis that we would have 4 packs just because they were on offer, so I thought I'd buy 4 packs for £8, and I took 3 packs with us and had 1 pack left for when we came back, so that straight away I wouldn't have to go sort of shopping and buy more wipes and nappies. And I think we used probably about 2.5 packs when we were on holiday. Nappy bags, that'll be the next sort of thing that you need. I don't spend a lot of money on nappy bags, I just buy the cheapest of the cheap really. These are from Asda and they're under £1 for 300. I think they're about 50 to 70p. And I just took the whole bag with me, then I didn't have to worry about whether I was going to run out. The next sort of thing you'll need is some sort of hand sanitizer. I buy mine from Aldi. I just like the travel sort of size, and that way it's always easy to keep in the changing bag, and it'll be very handy for when you're going out, say to the beach, or if you're out and about and you don't have access to washing your hands, then that's a bit of a lifesaver. Okay, so the next category is clothing. I took vests and rompers really for the majority of Finley's outfits when we were away, just because I wanted something that was easy and cool and that Finley would be comfortable in. I think I slightly overpacked and went a bit overboard on the vests. I think I packed 12 to 14 vests, just working on the basis that we'd be using around sort of 2 a day. We didn't use that many. I think we would have been fine with just on the basis of 1 vest a day, just because he tended to wear these sort of rompers with like a short bottom far more, and they just seem to be far sort of more comfortable for him. It seems a bit weird, but I also packed a sleeping bag, just because the room that we were going to be having had air conditioning in it, and I just know myself I can tend to get quite chilly in the middle of the night if the air conditioning is on, and he definitely did. So I would recommend packing a sleeping bag, just if you are going to be staying somewhere with that air conditioning. You're also going to need some sort of baby towel, just the sort of towel that has like a little hood for the head to go in, just to make them sort of nice and warm and cosy when they've come out of the pool or the sea. So the last category is just general useful things. I got this foldable hold-all from Boots. It was a last minute purchase, but it was a complete lifesaver. So it folds down really small and then unzips, and just is this large hold-all with a front zip pocket that, when you fold it down, becomes the sort of the case for the hold-all, and it's really roomy, and it is in this sort of wipeable sort of oilcloth type material, which means it would be great to double up as sort of a beach bag when you're there. Like I said, it has a zip at the front that's just useful for popping sort of a phone in, or you know, your purse if you wanted it there straight away. It has this other pocket there that you can just keep in things that you want to hand straight away as well. So I used this originally to put Finley's clothes inside my suitcase, just so that I could keep his clothes separate from mine inside the case. And then when we got there, I just took Finley's clothes out of it, put them in the drawers in the room, and then used the hold-all itself just as a beach bag. So it was great for just putting the towels and everything else in. And then again, it was just dead easy on the way back home to separate things inside the case, and then when it's not in use it can just be folded down really small. So I think it was around £20, and again I'll put a link below for it if it's still available. The next useful thing that I used was a luggage tag. It sounds really obvious to use luggage tags, but I didn't put this on the case, I put this on the pram itself, just on the base, just because I didn't expect, it sounds obvious, but I didn't expect when we were going to be at the airport collecting the pram at the other end that there would be so many people with the same prams, and it was just dead easy to identify ours because I just put this luggage tag on there. So handy hint. Another obvious thing to do, but is easy to forget, is to, if you're travelling in Europe, just make sure that you've got your European health insurance card with you, just because you'll need that if, God forbid, anything does happen in terms of needing medical treatment. What I also did was wrote down the details and emergency numbers for our travel insurance just on a piece of card, sort of credit card sized, and then kept that inside my purse, so that if anything should happen I had the policy number and the emergency contact details straight away without having to worry about them. So that's the European health insurance card. I found these really useful. I picked these up obviously from Asda, and they are Ziploc freezer bags. They're the exact dimensions that you need to put all your liquids in if you're travelling with liquids in your hand luggage. You can only use one per person, so you need to make sure that everything that you want to take will fit inside there. I used mine just for my makeup, and then for Dan's allowance I just had any sort of medication and just put that straight away, and it was easy to find. So inside there I created like this little medical kit. I had plasters in there, Infocol, a little travel sized version of Sudocrem just for any nappy rash, Calpol because you never know, it's always better to be on the safe side, and the little syringe that comes with that. And because Finley had started teething, I'd put some Dentinox in there as well. Another useful thing that I got in terms of liquids was this travel size version of the Acquaint sanitising spray. I use this just to spray off Finley's teething toys, just to make sure that they're clean, you know, if they've been sitting in my bag, or if he was to drop it on the floor, it's just easy to sort of sterilise straight away with this. It's great because it's safe for babies to swallow, and there's no need to rinse anything off afterwards, and it's just dead handy to have when you're out and about. I've got these really extra large muslin cloths from eBay, I'll pop a link below again, but I found just having the extra large muslin cloths were great to be able to swaddle Finley with, or cover him up if it was chilly, to wipe up his spit up, just to cover any exposed skin if he was slightly sort of in shade but there was like an arm or a leg sort of in the sun. That was always sort of useful to sort of keep him sort of covered with, and I found that he just seemed to be that little bit calmer if he had something to hold as well, you know, as a comforter. So again, really useful to have the extra large versions of the muslin cloths. They're lightweight and they fold down to nothing, so you may as well pack as many of them as you need really. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's all the categories covered. I hope that this has been really useful. If you'd like me to cover any other types of videos, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!